Okay, this is part 2. The reason is the video keeps freezing, so I'm going to have to put up a second video, and this is the second part. So if you see any of those key terms, then that means that you are using the operation of addition. The one to pay close attention to is the one that says more than. When you have something that uses the word than, 10 more than a number, you put your variable first and then the number. And it doesn't make as big a difference when you add, but it does make a huge difference when you subtract. So I always like to teach you, if it says more than, always put your variable first and your number second. Okay? If you do 2 plus 3, what do you get?
2 plus 3?
5. If you get 3 plus 2, what do you get? So order doesn't really matter for addition, but if I go to less than, and I do 5, 2, take away 3, what do I get? -1. If I do 3, take away 2, what do I get? +1, don't I? So it makes a big difference what order they are in, and so this than is key to keeping them in the correct order. So if it's subtraction, we have minus, we have less than, we have the difference of, we have less, we have decreased by, we have subtracted from, and if we have less than, for less than a number is written x minus 4. Whereas if it says for less a number, it is for less a number. Okay? So those are two different ways of saying something, but they have to be, they are completely different mathematically. Okay? Multiplication. Times, the product of, twice, doubled, multiplied. Of, just the word of means to multiply. Okay? The word per, you see per a lot. And we also see each a lot in word problems when they mean that you are doing multiplication. Now, you like to write multiplication like this. 8 times x, okay? But you have to get used to it looking like this, where when 8 is next to the variable, it means you are multiplying it, all right? That's how we write algebraic expressions and equations. Remember that a fraction written right next to a number just means 3/4 of that number or a half of that number, okay? We've got division. The word quotient really bothers students. They forget that quotient is to divide, divided by the ratio of. And the other thing is if you notice they put x divided by 7. That's the quotient of a number and 7. Okay? Well, that also, you're used to seeing that written like this. Those two things mean the same thing. Okay? And we have to kind of screw our head around that. Let's talk about powers. The square of something, that's when you square it. But in 8th grade, you can cross this off. We'll never cube anything. Okay? And then equals. Equals. Words that mean equals. Well, equals, obviously, is the same as, yields, amounts to. How about total? That also means to equal something, doesn't it? Okay? All right. So, inequality symbols, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, because we're going to be dealing with inequalities too. So those are just some key phrases, and you're going to keep this behind your orange chart so that you have a purple chart now, an orange chart, or a yellow chart, and a pink chart, okay? So we are going to do that, but we're going to use it today, so we might need it. And what we're going to do is go to the white sheet now that you have that we're going to do notes on. And it looks as though I've got to go and get one real quick here. So on the top of this sheet, it does just have a little smaller version of what we gave you in the pink. Okay? Probably going to need, sometimes you will, yes. You can refer to this, it will help you. You can cross off that second line, okay? And we're going to try and translate some of these down here below. So please, let's try this. 5 more than a number. All right, well, if we go up here to addition, more than is going to mean addition. So I'm going to go under the addition here, and it looks like 3 more than a number. How did they write it? The number plus 3, n plus 3. So we're going to write this n plus 5. It's that simple. Okay? A number divided by 4. Well, let's see. A number, some number, which we can use an x for, divided by 4. So it would be x divided by 4. Or how else can we write that? We can write it making it look like a fraction, right? X over 4. Same thing. Okay? The next one, the sum of a number, the sum of 3 and a number. What does it mean when you sum something? What operation? Adding. No, it's adding. Okay? So 3 and a number is going to be written how? Three, what am I going to do next? Plus x. Okay? The quotient, what did quotient mean? We just said it. Dividing, that's correct, of a number and 3. So that is a number and 3, or number and 3. Okay? How about 9 times a number? Yes, so how am I going to write it? So you would probably want to write it like this, wouldn't you? But how do we have to get used to writing it? 9x, that's correct. Okay? What about here? 4 more than, ooh, we got that more than. So where am I going to put that 4? After the variable, right? So I'm going to go ahead and write plus 4. All right? And then I have half a number. How am I going to write that? 1 over 2x plus 4. Okay? Ooh, we've got less than. 10 less than. So I'm going to go ahead and write my subtract 10. And I have 1/2 of a number. So that's the same thing, isn't it? Only it's subtraction. 3 plus, 3 plus the product of a number and 5. Ooh, how am I going to write that? What does product mean? Good. 5 times x. Very good. Perfect. 4 more than, ooh, what am I going to do with that 4 now? Plus 4 at the end. 3 times a number. How would I do that? 3 times x. Okay? 8 times the sum. This one's really hard, by the way. 8 times the sum of a number and 2. The only way we can do that is this way. 8 times the sum of a number and 2. That one would be a really difficult one to get. Okay? You have to sum, and then you're going to multiply the sum of those two numbers. So you've got to use your parentheses because you're going to sum those first. Okay? Now, on your work for today, I'm going to hand it out. And when I hand it out, you have this big long sheet, okay? And I'm going to do this for video, and then I'll turn this off and we will go on. Okay? Remember that these have the word is in them. So we are got 5 more than a number is 17. That means we're going to have this. Okay? 5 more than a number. How would I write that? Anybody want to tell me? X plus 5 is 17. All right, Miss Moon and I want you to do only 2 of these. You can pick any 2 out of the 15 besides number 1 and do it. Okay? Then you are going to do the matching down here, all of the matching. So 2 only up here. And then you're going to do all of the matching. And you are going to do all of the problems on the back. Okay? And that is all we have for today.